Welcome to Module 11, Food Microbiology Fundamentals. This module connects food safety, spoilage, hygiene, and laboratory testing with practical factory decisions. Food microbiology begins with the path from a food sample to an informed microbiological decision. Strong conclusions connect raw materials, process hygiene, laboratory evidence, and consumer protection. Food factory interfaces matter because laboratory results only become useful when they are connected to real production conditions. Sampling, sanitation, process design, and operator behavior all influence the final risk. By the end of this module, you should recognize common microbial risks, understand growth conditions, and interpret basic food microbiology testing. You should also connect hygiene, sampling, sanitation, and process control across the factory. Food microbiology protects consumers, brand reputation, shelf life, and operational continuity. Its findings can support release decisions, corrective actions, shelf life controls, and regulatory compliance. Contamination can enter food at many stages, from raw materials and water to personnel, equipment, packaging, and distribution. Effective control starts by identifying likely entry points and understanding how contamination could spread. Spoilage organisms, pathogens, and indicator organisms answer different questions. A high count is not automatically the same type of risk because organism identity, product type, and process context all matter. Microbial growth depends on intrinsic food properties and extrinsic storage conditions. Important factors include pH, water activity, nutrients, temperature, packaging atmosphere, humidity, and handling history. Temperature is one of the fastest ways to influence microbial growth rate, survival, and toxin risk. Cold chain control, hot holding, cooling, and thawing records should be reviewed when results are unusual. Acidic conditions suppress many bacteria, but yeasts, molds, and acid-tolerant organisms may still grow. pH should always be considered together with water activity, preservatives, storage temperature, and formulation changes. Microorganisms need available water, so reducing water activity is an important preservation strategy. Low water activity can limit growth, but it does not necessarily eliminate microorganisms or prevent long-term survival. Packaging can slow growth, but it may also select for different microorganisms. Package integrity, seal quality, condensation, and oxygen conditions must be assessed alongside raw material quality and temperature control. Hurdle technology uses several mild controls together rather than relying on one extreme control. Heat, low pH, low water activity, preservatives, and cold storage can collectively prevent growth and extend shelf life. Prerequisite programs, GMP, HACCP, and microbiological testing work together in a food quality system. Testing verifies hygiene and supports investigations, but it does not replace disciplined process control. A reliable microbiological result begins with a representative sample and clear sample integrity. Sterile containers, correct labeling, controlled transport temperature, and a documented chain of custody protect the meaning of the result. Food samples are often heterogeneous, so preparation and homogenization must make the test portion representative. The right diluent, mixing approach, and preparation method depend on the food matrix and test objective. Dilution and plating workflows require controlled weighing, dilution, homogenization, incubation, counting, and calculation. Each dilution must be mixed properly, and plate appearance should be recorded before a result is reported. Indicator organisms help estimate hygiene status, possible fecal contamination, or process effectiveness. Total aerobic count, coliforms, Enterobacteriaceae, E. coli, yeasts, and molds should be interpreted in the context of the product and process. A total aerobic count or total viable count gives a broad view of microbial load. It does not identify pathogens by itself and must be interpreted with the product type, method, specification, and trend history. Yeasts and molds are especially important in dry, acidic, sugary, refrigerated, and surface-exposed foods. They can cause gas formation, turbidity, off flavors, visible defects, and musty odors. Foodborne pathogen testing is targeted, method-driven, and risk-based rather than a general count. Enrichment, Selective isolation, confirmation, and strict controls help recover and manage suspect organisms correctly. Escherichia coli is commonly used as an indicator of fecal contamination and poor hygiene control. Its presence may point to water issues, raw material contamination, poor hand hygiene, cross-contamination, or post-process failures. Salmonella is a high-priority food safety hazard across many food categories, including animal products and dry ingredients. Effective control relies on supplier approval, heat treatment, zoning, hygienic design, and separation of raw and ready-to-eat areas. Staphylococcus aureus is often associated with human handling and can produce heat-stable toxins under favorable conditions. Personnel hygiene, illness reporting, rapid cooling, and prevention of manual post-process handling are key controls. Listeria is particularly relevant in wet, chilled, ready-to-eat environments. It can persist in drains, niches, and equipment harborage points, making environmental monitoring and sanitation essential. Bacillus cereus and other spore-forming bacteria can survive heat, drying, and environmental stress. Slow cooling or temperature abuse can allow spores to germinate, grow, and in some cases create toxin risk. Dairy products combine high nutrients, moisture, and product-specific microbial controls. Raw milk flora, post-pasteurization contamination, cold chain failures, and unwanted yeasts or molds can all affect quality and shelf life. Meat, poultry, and seafood are high-risk foods because of their moisture, nutrients, near-neutral pH, and raw material flora. Supplier quality, segregation, sanitation, validated cooking, and cold chain control are critical at every stage. Bakery products, cereals, grains, and dry ingredients often have low water activity, which limits growth but not survival. Mold spoilage, spore formers, salmonella survival, condensation, and warehouse humidity remain important concerns. Acidic beverages and juices often favor yeasts, molds, and acid-tolerant spoilage organisms. Water quality, heat treatment, hygienic filling, preservative control, package integrity, and storage conditions all shape the risk. Ready-to-eat foods require strong post-process hygiene because consumers may not apply a final kill step. Zoning, sanitation, environmental monitoring, personnel discipline, and Listeria control are central to protecting these products. Sauces, dressings, and composite foods require risk assessment for each ingredient, pH, water activity, heat process, and packaging condition. Viscosity and particulates can make heating and representative sampling more challenging. Environmental monitoring in food factories helps identify hygiene issues before they become product contamination events. Sampling sites should be selected by risk and trended by location, organism group, line, time, and sanitation event. Cleaning removes soil, while sanitation reduces microorganisms. Both must be verified. Visual inspection, ADP or rapid hygiene tools, microbiological swabs, contact plates, and trend review can support effective verification. Shelf life studies connect microbial growth with sensory quality, packaging, storage conditions, and product claims. Testing at planned intervals helps define the expected shelf life limit and the conditions needed to maintain it. When results are abnormal, repeated patterns often reveal more than a single high count. Investigations should confirm the data, review sample history and process events, map contamination routes, and define meaningful corrective actions. In this chilled sauce case, package swelling and yeasty odor suggest a spoilage problem before the intended shelf life. The higher pH, cold room temperature excursion, and extended filling line hold should be evaluated together with the recovered yeasts. This activity asks teams to build a microbial risk map from raw material reception to final packaging. Consider people, equipment, water, condensation, packaging, storage, and distribution for the selected food product. Food microbiology is a practical decision system that requires understanding the food, the process, the organism, and the trend. Temperature, pH, water activity, oxygen, packaging, sanitation, and sampling context all work together to shape risk.